they're looking at the beginning of February, which isn't a bad deal. I mean, it's really, I guess if you had to have this injury happen, if it had happened a month later, it would have got us in a really big bind for next year even. So it would have messed up not only the end of this year, but the beginning of next year. So to answer your question, February is what they're looking at. And then something that is part of this process, I've really been very vague with the doctors about what's going on and what's happening, what's going to happen a month down the road or 3 months down the road. And the reason for that, I've tried to kind of, to a certain degree, protect myself from myself by not getting too far ahead and not trying to do something too early that I'm not supposed to do. I'm really trying to guard against setbacks right now. Well, I think it's kind of been inevitable at some point that all three of us during different stages are going to start growing up. And I don't know that all three of us have completed that process yet, but I think to a certain degree and certain level, all three of us have made huge gains in that area. I think the good thing is, especially for Kurt's side, I mean, it's a new organization, and it's the same with Kevin. But, Kevin and I have raced with each other. I raced for him in the Nationwide car quite a bit, so we've worked together a lot. Kurt and I haven't had the chance to work together, but I really think it's an asset for Kurt to have both myself and Kevin as a support system, I guess, and to lean on each other. And I think that's something that will help, the growing of him coming to the organization. When Gene came to me about the fourth team, he told me on a Monday, and then on Thursday I was told that they had a contract ready. So it definitely moved a lot faster, but in that time frame, there were a lot of meetings in 3 days. And the biggest thing was having Greg Zippodelli sit there and say, we can do this and we can get it done in a time frame. And that was my concern. It wasn't that I was against the idea of what Gene had in mind. In all honesty, I thought, and you think about what role he's played in this company. I mean, ever since I've been a part of Stewart-Haas with him, every year he's become more engaged than the year before. And for him to go out and take an opportunity like this to go find somebody like Kurt and do it in a time frame and make this happen in such a short amount of time has really been encouraging to me as his partner in this deal. It was just me getting caught up more than anything. And when he asked me about it, I wanted to make sure that we had the time. The timing is very tight, and we're going to have to get a lot done in a short amount of time to accomplish this. But I think it was really Greg saying, we can do this, and we can get this done in the time frame. And it may not be fun, and it may not be easy, but we can do it. And it was just the perfect storm and a freak accident that I've never even heard of what happened happening to anybody else as far as the actual injury and everything, as far as how it happened. So, but the good thing is that it got enough attention to, I guess, get this movement started. And there's a lot of people that are actively working on it right now. So there's going to be something that comes positive out of this negative of being hurt. It's, sprint car racing's had a dark cloud over it this summer, and just a lot of things that normally don't happen in it have happened in a short amount of time. And it's reading some of the articles from from riders that don't know anything about sprint car racing. What they've wrote has just devastated the sprint car community. And, I think that's been a big part in why some of these manufacturers have got involved and, are trying to say, hey, this isn't as dangerous as everybody thinks it is, but we can make it better. So there's going to be something positive come out of this, just like in NASCAR. And, there's no formal group like NASCAR put together to actually do this, but it's independent manufacturers that are saying, hey, we're going to figure something out, and that's pretty impressive to see. Yeah, the injuries are not just compound fractures. That was probably the easiest part of it. There is tissue damage, there's skin damage that's involved, and that's kind of been the first part of this process that the doctor was concerned about was before even the bones. I mean, they put the titanium rod in, and that's all they've done bone-wise up to this point. They literally, the first phase of this healing process was getting the skin to heal together, which I'll admit I've been about as squeamish as you've ever seen. I mean, I literally have damn near passed out at every doctor visit I've been to so far with the surgeon. And I go into it with the attitude that I'm not going to look at my leg. And then as soon as they get the wrapping off of it, I'm like, I got to look. It's like yelling at a dog going squirrel. I cannot not look. So, and then I spend the rest of the time sitting there with a wet washcloth on my forehead trying to regain consciousness. Now, I am feeling a lot better. We've made huge gains in the last 4 weeks. This is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. This is definitely the worst injury I've ever had in my life and racing career. So it's definitely it's been a big change from being probably one of the busiest drivers on the schedule to being in bed 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So we're getting around a lot better. It's starting to get, well, I've got a lot of my independence back as far as being able to take care of myself and get up and shower, do all the simple things that we take for granted. That's stuff that we've been able to do here in the last couple of weeks that we've gained back. So we're definitely making a lot of ground on it.